all have that person in our life that keeps coming back, whether it's the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the husband, the wife, the friend, the family member, that person that you thought you got rid of, but they keep coming back. Let's talk about it. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you've been here before. I am Ashley, a light teacher, speaker, and mentor, and I have a beautiful shop full of pretty things. Let's start by saying kudos to you for cutting said person out of your life. You held a boundary, you understood that someone was no longer meant to be in your life. So firstly, let's celebrate that, because that's a huge step. You acknowledging that there is somebody who does not deserve your time or your energy anymore. But what happens if said person slithers their way back into your life? This is where your emotional intelligence is so important. This is where it is important to respond and not to react. By the way, I have a whole video about that, which I did last time, so check it out if you're not sure what that means. The point is, you need to allow yourself to have the reaction in the absence of that person. Deal with whatever feelings they bring up within you, but don't take that out on them. Do not engage with that kind of reactionary vibe. Feel the feels, do what you need to do, process how you need to process, and then if you do want to engage with them, allow it to be a response versus a reaction. If you react, that does leave you much more vulnerable to manipulation, because let's just say it's an ex-partner and they message you and your reaction is like, oh my gosh, they love me still, they care about me, and you immediately respond. That person might be like, oh, perfect, I've got the upper hand. I got them to message me back almost immediately, and they seem so eager and so excited that I'm messaging them so they can totally take advantage of the situation. Ignoring this person may be an appropriate response for you, but I would say that's probably the toughest response. We do need to look at the past. Like, what was this relationship? How emotionally involved were you in this relationship? How intense was it? There are so many factors at play here. So ignoring this person may be really hard for you. It might be really challenging. You might not actually be able to ignore them. But of course, if you feel that you're able to, I would say that's probably the best response. The best response would really be no response at all, that you are able to process the feelings and you have a support system like a friend circle or a friend or a therapist or a counselor, another partner, someone that you can go to work through whatever feelings it was that brought up. Other options involve blocking said person from contacting you. Again, this takes a lot of power. I've been in situations where it's challenging because you don't really want to, because there's still that emotional connection. You are still feeling very tender and you're not quite ready to block this person. So while that is an option, again, it may not be an option for you. But if you are feeling like you want to respond, this is where you really have to ignite that inner power, where you need to remind yourself why you ended or why you chose not to be in this relationship in the first place, and ask for your space. Ask for what you need. Remind this person that they are no longer in your life for a reason, and remind this person of what you are choosing to do with your life and with your time right now. That could look like saying something, I appreciate you reaching out and I appreciate you caring for me, but I've moved on in my life. I appreciate you sending me this message, but I've chosen to release myself from this relationship and I no longer wish to engage with you. This could look like saying, hey, wasn't expecting to hear from you. Hope you're doing well, but I no longer want to engage in conversation. I'm sure those kind of responses won't be your immediate reaction, like been there, done that. We're probably going to be triggered, right? And my best piece of advice is not to engage with that person from that triggered place. You're allowed to feel however you want to feel, but I really think the last thing you want to do is engage with that person from the triggered place. They're most likely looking for attention. And if you give them the kind of attention that they're probably seeking, it's gonna fuel their fire even more. So space, time is everything. Allow yourself time to respond. If you're not able to ignore, if you're not able to block, who cares if it takes a week for you to respond? I think that is much healthier than having an emotional reaction instantly in the moment. And if you do need some help, I might have a candle with an affirmation on it that says, I am powerful, to remind you just how powerful you are. So if you do encounter these situations, you light that baby up, you look at the affirmation, you repeat the affirmation, I am powerful, before you engage with that person. Thanks for watching, and make sure you go check out that video that I did on reactions versus responses.